mind, it is a little bit of a react to a react. Um, but this is Gen Zers seeing the Mr. Rogers pool scene for the first time. And by the pool scene, I'm pretty sure this is referencing when Mr. Rogers had this, I believe this is a police officer on that had this African American police officer on, and I think the two of them basically they had a kiddie pool and they both dipped their feet into the kiddie pool together. And I think this might have been during a time where there was this was during a time when there was still unofficial segregation happening between blacks and whites. And this is Mr. Rogers trying to say, like, hey, we're all human. We're all people, belong together. And I think, especially now, this is something we should say to see how Gen Z reacts to this. So let's take a look.
Want black people to come and swim in their swimming pools.
Oh,
around the country, they didn't want black people to come and swim in their swimming pools. And Fred said that is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
Today, trouble under a noon sun. Negroes and white rabbis marched to a segregated hotel with these results. Manager James Brock told them to get off his private property, tossed cleaning chemicals inside the pool in an effort to get the Negroes to leave.
Wow.
Jesus.
By being on the program.
Jesus. Fuck. Holy shit. That is sick. That was like, so that man was, I'm guessing that was bleach. That fucking racist was using on those pools, which is like showering those people that were in the pool with like bleach. That is fucking sick. Holy fuck.
Was a statement for Fred.
Something so simple, such a simple scene, having such a monumental impact. There's like a beautiful irony in that. Today I'm going to be checking out a clip that a lot of you guys told me to check out. This is Mr. Rogers' swimming pool scene that he did with Officer Clemens. I'm going to check out the first one he did, and I'm pretty sure the reunion that he did. I'm also going to be showing you guys a clip from the actual actor himself talking about how he felt during the scenes. And so, I'm really excited to kind of dive into this rabbit hole, man. Guys, some of you guys may not be aware, I'm doing some bonus exclusive content on the Patreon.
Oh, I mean, Microviper, leave us not forget, there was the... Oh, God, I do not recall the name of the town. One of you guys can help me out, but there was this entire town that was set up. There was an entire town erected by a black community. It was like an all-black community. It was very successful. It was actually deemed as like the Black Wall Street because it was a very well-to-do community. Yes, the town in Tulsa. It was a town that it was all black town. The town was actually erected by the black community. It was only black people residing in this town. It was very prosperous and very successful, and racists literally firebombed the entire town and burned it to the ground. Because God forbid, at that time, black people should be successful and prosperous. And so basically a white mob, literally firebombed the town, both from ground and air, and burned it to the foundation, the entire town. That was the level of racism that black people had to contend with back during that time period. No, Rum Dumpster, I can't. These were flat out racists that destroyed an entire town because it was black. Because the entire town was black. It's flat out racism, pure and simple. and that's why it was done. There's no information that they've been given. This was literally a collective of white racists that did not want them to have a successful town, and so they razed it to the ground. It's really as simple as that.
Doing some movie reactions, some album reviews, and some sitcom reviews. I'll put some stuff on the screen for some of the things you can expect. Obviously, so if you guys want to get a Gen Z perspective on a lot of the classic 70s and 80s movies and albums and sitcoms a lot of you guys would have grew up with, then definitely consider checking out link in the description to the Patreon. We can get all of that and more. And I'm also gonna try and check out some more Mr. Rogers, the documentary, and some more artists. Look, a lot is going on right now, so if you haven't gotten in already, then I'll definitely recommend checking it out. But yeah, guys, look, with that being said, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know what other things you guys want me to check out. But with that being said, let's get straight into...
And look at the context here at the bottom. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act outlawed segregation in public places. One person on the forefront of breaking down barriers of segregation was Fred Rogers. Ran from 1968 to 2001 and became famous for the compassion showed on the show.
How Mr. Rogers helped to break down barriers of segregation at swimming pools. Let's do this.
Transitions here.
Oh, there's Officer Clemens. Hi, Officer Clemens. Come in.
Rogers, how are you?
Fine. Won't you sit down?
Oh, sure. Just for a moment.
It's so warm. I was just putting some water on my feet.
Oh, it sure is.
Would you like to join me?
It looks awfully enjoyable, but I don't have a towel or anything.
Oh, you share mine.
Wow.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Come along.
man.
I'll put some more water in.
Oh, God.
This is going to turn into a beautiful day.
You like bare feet?
Well, yeah, as I grew older, I liked it more and more.
Uh-huh. Good for you. You're pulling up your pants. I forgot to do that at first.
Oh, I don't want them to get wet.
Right.
Oh, that feels great.
Right here.
Now, like for context, at the time of this episode, this was unthinkable. This was absolutely unthinkable at this point in time in history. For basically, yes, it's only a kiddie pool, and yes, it's their feet.
The world needs us all to be more like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Like even though this was just a kiddie pool, and even though it's only their feet, to a large portion of the populace, something like this was unthinkable. This would basically amount to effectively heresy back during this point in time. And Fred Rogers made it his mission in life to bring people together. That was his mission. His mission was to bring people together and to facilitate understanding between everybody and care and compassion. And he was the best of us. Fred Rogers was the best of us.
You know, when you're a policeman, you do...
They low-key sound like they're improvising. Like I can't tell if this is an actual script that they're going off of, or if they're just
They probably improvised a
going
little
off the
bit.
dome here. But either way, this is a significant scene.
You know, when
man.
you're a policeman, you do an awful lot of walking. And sometimes your feet get tired.
Right.
That feels better already.
Good.
Just massage them a little bit.
Cool water on a hot day.
Well,
Is it Ocilia?
thank you for your refreshments.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. You're welcome, Officer Clemens.
Can we turn this off?
Mm-hmm. Is that enough?
Oh, that's fine. Well, that was so enjoyable. I'm sorry I couldn't stay longer.
Well, I know how busy you are. But sometimes just a minute like this will really make a difference.
There, that one's
Yeah.
dry.
like, and think about this. It's not only sharing the pool, it was sharing his towel too. Again, something back then that was unthinkable for a white man to share his towel with a black man. Again, something unthinkable that that Fred Rogers never even considered. He didn't consider it unthinkable. He just cared about treating people like humans.
Wow.
And now, that one. Thank you.
Me too, Jack. Me too.
Your hand in
singing.
my hand, and be ready to feel all safe and strong.
Oh, wow. That voice.
Your child,
God, he does have a
so
wonderful
you
singing
can
voice.
do it.
Well, Conga, bear in mind, this is not a real police officer. This is an actor. This is not a real police officer. This was an actor on the show.
Children do it all life long. There we are.
You have great boots to fill, Officer Clemens. And
Well,
you
thank you
fill
very
them
much.
well. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
stopping by.
So long.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Wow. You know, if
God.
you didn't tell me the context of that video, I would literally think, what's the big deal about this? It's just
Tip.
two guys in a pool washing their feet. If
Yep.
anything, I'm bored reacting to this because why am I reacting to two guys in a pool washing their feet? That's what I would
Here we
think
go.
if I didn't know any context. Obviously, growing up in the time that I grew up in. But now when you throw in the cultural or the context in it now, and now it makes you look at it differently because it's like seeing, like having these two come into the same pool when this stuff is like bad to do at the time, and just have it be such a simple scene with them being so friendly to each other as if this is just another day. Especially Officer Clemens being a police officer on top of that, with, you know what I'm saying, the whole idea around policemen at the time. That this, like, I can only imagine just how much this would have broke. I was gonna say they broke the internet, but the internet didn't exist then. But this would have just like this would have been such a monumental moment. Something so simple, such a simple scene.
I'm going to slightly disagree with him that this was such a monumental moment. I think this might have actually been a couple of moments. I think this might have been a couple of moments for the time period. Number one, it was probably a moment of incredible outrage. I imagine that the studio received a lot of absolutely furious phone calls from racists demanding to know how dare they show a black man and a white man with their feet dipped into the same pool. So I imagine there's probably a lot of that. And then, but at the same time, I think there were a lot of people that also did view it as basically an outstretched hand of Mr. Rogers saying, look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. That this man is a human being just like I am, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with two people sharing a pool like this, regardless if they're black or they're white, because this is another person. This is another human. And I think it was a big step forward with Mr. Rogers, with Fred Rogers, basically educating people on like not looking at someone based upon their race. Like Fred Rogers was an educator, and his teachings were of kindness. And that's what it's all that's what it was always about with Fred Rogers is he taught people kindness. First and foremost, that was what he taught people, is he taught them kindness. And he wanted people to be kind to one another. And that is why so many times in recent days, I have been preaching, pleading for kindness and compassion. Because I'm trying to follow, at least in some respects, in his footsteps. That we should be kind to one another. That we should be compassionate with one another. Regardless of what we look like, regardless of our opinions on something, regardless of our individual religion that we follow, kindness and compassion above all. That is what I try. That is what I want for people. Above everything else, I get upset, I get angry, I rage, of course, but above all, I do that. I do that because I want people to be kind and to be compassionate. That's why I rage, because I see such a strong lack of it these days. And I just want people to remember to be kind and to be compassionate with your fellow human. That's what I ask for. Oh.
Having such a monumental impact. There's like a beautiful irony in that. Of course, a lot of you guys probably will be able to inform me and enlighten me a little bit more so in terms of the context and the weight it would have had. If any of you guys may have been young enough to remember watching this, maybe like share some thoughts and, you know, how this would have impacted you seeing something like this at the time.
Wait. Congo, I unblocked it, but I should read this. I looked it up, and Clemens, the actor, Clemens being this actor, didn't like the police due to police killing black people, but Uncle Rogers, well, I think he meant Mr. Rogers, Congo, Fred Rogers. Uncle Rogers is a totally different YouTuber, convinced him to think of police as people who save others instead of villains. That was Fred Rogers. Look at others as people instead of villains. That was what he did.
Handyman Negri and Officer Clemens, I presume.
Correct as always, Your Highness.
Could we take a close look at your badge here, Officer Clemens? My friends, I think, can read it. Police.
I have always felt policemen may be the most dangerous person in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So to have me playing a police officer, I was tremendously hesitant. But there was something reluctant about Fred to let go. And I said, Mr. Rogers, I would be very happy to be on your program as long as it doesn't interfere with my singing.
We've had it and now it can go. We don't want the snow anymore.
interfere with the singing.
He teased me about that for 20 years. He said, Officer Clemens, are we interfering with your career? Are we interfering? He was relentless, but he also told me, he said, that was the moment I loved you.
Wow.
He said, because you were not going to kiss my ass. Those are Mr. Rogers' words.
Wow.
That feels good.
Something
Oh, there's
so
Officer
simple.
Clemens. Hi, Officer Clemens. Come in.
We're seeing this again.
Fine, won't you sit down?
Oh, sure, just for a moment.
It's so warm, I was just putting some water on
Is
my
he gonna
feet.
play it
Oh,
through
it
again?
sure is.
Would you like to join me?
It looks awfully enjoyable, but I don't have a towel or anything.
Oh, you share mine.
Okay.
Sure.
Around the country, they didn't want black people to come and swim in their swimming pools.
Okay.
And Fred
No.
said, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Today, trouble
Yes.
under a noon sun. Negroes and white rabbis marched to a segregated hotel with these results.
Did you hear that? Listen it's hard to tell because of the quality. Listen to what the reporter says. Listen to what he says again.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Today, trouble under a noon sun. Negroes and white rabbis marched to a segregated
They did this both to black people and to Jewish people. These people went after both black people and Jewish people. Yeah, white rabbis. So they were going after these people were going after Jewish people too.
If you see all the creeds and religions in the world, you will notice one almost universal goal. Be kind to your neighbor.
And said, not simply just anything not white. They said white rabbis. So it was not simply just that it was religion too. Because Jewish people were highly discriminated against back in the 60s as well. There was a very strong discrimination against Jewish people in the 60s as well. The typical insult was that Jewish people had tails. That was a thing that was often said in regards to Jewish people. So if I was a hazard a guess, these men would be white Christians. And so they hated black people and they hated Jewish people. And we see what happens. Yes, Nick Victory. That was a common insult, is that Jewish people would have tails. I think it was an alludence to that Jewish people were servants of the devil. So obviously like a devil's tail, perhaps. I think that may have been what it was alluding to.
segregated hotel with these results. Manager James Brock told them to get off his private property, tossed cleaning chemicals inside the pool in an effort to get the Negroes to leave.
Wow.
The rats, okay, Gore.
My being on the program was a statement for Fred.
Cool water on a hot day.
Like, I've been seeing this clip fly around here, and I didn't realize that's what he was pouring in, cleaning chemicals.
Segregated hotel with these results.
Probably bleach. They say cleaning chemicals, but it's probably bleach.
Private property, tossed.
Thank you, one guy. Thank you for the 2,000 kicks. Thank you so very much. Sorry, I'm not more verbose about that. I'm trying to hold back tears right now. But thank you.
Cleaning chemicals inside the pool in an effort to get the Negroes to leave.
My being on the program.
Yeah, I didn't even like when I see stuff like that, and this
It
how
looked
different.
shadows that looked liquidy. That looked liquid. That didn't look.
Property, tossed.
That's liquid. That's not powder. That was liquid. I don't know if it was chlorine, if it was concentrated chlorine, if it was bleach, whatever it was. It was liquid.
My being on the program.
Yeah, I didn't even like when I see stuff like that, and this how different the mindsets and attitudes were. It's just that's just like, again, that's something that just like shocks me. Like when I actually see, obviously I knew it existed, but when I see it like in the flesh, it's kind of like wow. I literally I can't believe that times are really like that. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's mad to think. Just if I was born like I don't know, like 70 years ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just how different 60 years ago, just how different things would have been, man. But that's Officer Clemens.
Not even like okay. This is now we're getting slightly hyperbolic here. I mean, if he was born 60 years ago, if he was born 80 years ago, then it'd be in the middle of World War II, and the Nazis would have tried to slaughter him too because he was not white, blonde hair, blue eyed. You can appreciate the past. It's little. Okay. I'm overthinking this. I'm overthinking. I'm way overthinking this. Um. I'm just gonna let him talk, and because I understand why I understand why he's thinking this way. That's why I'm grossly overthinking this. I understand why he feels this way about 60 years. If he was born 60 years ago, 70 years ago, because that was at the height of racism in America. So I get it. I get it.
Talking about his time on the scene. He said he hopes it doesn't interfere with his singing career, and Mr. Fred is teasing him. Again, just Fred just having that love and compassion from what it seems like from the beginning of his career to the end of it. And you can tell that's how he generally was, because you can't keep up an act for that long, right? Like eventually, the truth is
It
gonna
is
start
Ocilia.
peeking through the cracks, right? And it just goes to show just how genuine Mr. Rogers was in his message, and just how real what he was saying was, because he kept the same message from the beginning to the end, man. And yeah, what an icon this man was. And I obviously can see how much or why you guys loved him so much, because how could you not, man? Even to this day, me reacting to this as a Gen Zer, he grew up, he was basically born from the moment he died onwards. Rest in peace to him. How he's still impacting people, kids like myself, to this day.
That's the saddest part for me. Is Gen Z doesn't have someone like Mr. Rogers to grow up with. Gen Z has not had. Unless you guys can think of someone, I can't. Gen Z hasn't had someone like Mr. Rogers to grow up with. Gen Z has not had someone like Mr. Rogers to be an inspiration to them on how to treat people, on how to basically be a good person. They didn't have him growing up. And that's really sad. It's really sad that Gen Z doesn't have one of the greatest role models in human history to grow up with. And yeah, Dre, that's what I mean. It's starting to show. It's starting to show with Gen Z and Gen Alpha not having someone like Mr. Rogers to be their to be their inspiration as they grow up. Like you guys talk about the timeline breaking with the death of Harambe. That's the joke. No, I think it's when Mr. Rogers finally passed away. I think that's what broke the timeline. When Mr. Rogers finally passed away. That's what broke the timeline. That's what put us on this bad timeline. Is when he died. Because we need someone like him. We need someone like Fred Rogers to be just this inspiration to everyone on how to treat people, on how to be good and how to be kind. We need a Mr. Rogers for that. And we don't have it. We don't have it. I know, Dwayne. I know he passed away in 2001. And that's when things started happening like this. And we need someone like him. Need someone like Mr. Rogers. They can spread a message of kindness and of compassion. And I keep repeating those two words because it's two words that people desperately need to be reminded of again. That people need to embrace again. That we need to embrace our kindness and our compassion. That is what is going to pull us back. That is what's going to pull us back from your heart. Is to treat people with kindness and compassion. That is something we so desperately need that we are so lacking right now. We need the lessons of Mr. Rogers. Again.
If that doesn't say something, I don't know what does. But see, this came out way later, obviously after things have changed, and we got Francois, I guess, saying his thoughts on it as well on this one. But yeah, let's check this out. It's my first time.
Francois Clemens, hi, welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
Fine, how are you
They
today?
recreated
My
it.
feet were tired, so I thought I'd just soak them for a while in this water.
Does it make him feel better?
It does. Would you like to try?
Sure.
I want to try
On
that.
the show, he would say, I love you just the way you are. One day I said, Fred, were you talking to me? And he looked at me and he said, yes. I've been talking to you for 2 years, and you finally heard me today.
Wow.
And I just collapsed into his arms. I started crying.
Wow.
That's when I knew that I loved him.
There are many ways.
Yeah, man. Just what he just said there about how he started crying from Mr. Rogers saying something so simple, but it just holds so much weight. And I can imagine, like he said, he's been saying it for 2 years, and it's only now he feel like he, you know.
And he never gave up either. It told him for 2 years. It never gave up. It kept telling him over and over again. It just never gave up. He never gave up on anyone.
I finally heard him. Wow, man. I wish I was like a fly on the wall, just being able to see that. Like, I've got such a curious mind. I wish I would have been able to just see what that would have looked like and try and like wrap my head around the context and just how deep that would have been.
Schneezy, kindness and compassion is the only way forward. It's the only way. It truly is. Because even if you go the complete opposite way, and you choose for your way to go forward to be violence, anger, and hate, that's not the way forward. The only way to actually go forward is through kindness and compassion. Because when everything is said and done, if violence is used, if hate is used, if anger is used, eventually the people that use that realize they're not going forward. They realize that it won't give them the results that they actually want, and that in the end, what will give them what they want is simply to be kind. Eventually, they'll realize how big of a mistake that they've made, and it's kindness that was the way forward from the very beginning. And it was always that way.
And that moment right there, man.
And I just collapsed into his arms. I started crying. That's when I knew that I loved him. There are many ways to say I love you.
Those that live by the sword die by the sword.
No, it's too simple. That is far too simple. In this case, it's not just live by the sword, die by the sword. It's doing that is through hate and anger. And you can't go forward in life with hate and anger. It's not sustainable. It's not. You can, no matter how much you think you cannot sustain hate and anger for years and years and years. You can't. It's not possible. With kindness, you can. With compassion, you can. Kindness, compassion, love, understanding, that can last for decades. Decades. Anger, the anger and hate, they're quick fuse. They're quick. They don't last long. You can't. A person cannot sustain hate and anger for an extended period of time because the human mind is not designed to maintain that long term. It's designed like hate and anger from a pure biological standpoint is designed as a defense mechanism for when you as a person are for an immediate threat. That's the purpose behind hate and anger. It's a defense mechanism when you are under direct threat. You can't just sustain it long term if there's no immediate threat to you. It can't be done. You will exhaust yourself trying to do it. And when that happens, you'll default back to what it should have always been in the first place, which is compassion and understanding and kindness. It defaults back that way.
There are many ways to say I care about. No man had ever told me that he loved me like that. I needed to hear it all my life. My dad never told me. My stepfather never told me.
Damn.
So, from then on, he became my surrogate father.
Wow.
I'm so proud of you, Francois.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
Can I help you here?
Thank you.
So pretty much like the same scene again. Obviously, Francois talking about. Well, at least that's his actual name, or is that? I'll call him Francois. But yeah, just to see the impact that this how Fred impacted him, Mr. Rogers, is crazy to see. And obviously such a different time, recreating the same clip that would have caused such a cultural shift and such a catastrophic impact. Imagine that at that time. And then much later, when times have changed. But then you also get to see that like long-standing friendship that they would have had that just traveled into the years. Again, that genuinity, just showing like, and it being such a good example of, again, more compassion and more love, and the impact that probably would have had on, just to think about the impact that would have had on so many people watching, to see that this friendship continued into the future. And even Francois himself talking about it, just hearing how much that would have impacted him. Such a cool little deep dive, man. And I'll be very curious as well, like if you guys want to share some of your insights into like how this affected you and the impacts, or how it would have shape the world around you. Can you guys remember a time when you guys were shown that sort of love and compassion like Fred Rogers if you guys want to share that, I'll be very curious. Have you guys ever had a Mr. Rogers moment where someone has just extended so much love and compassion towards you guys? Let me know that in the comment section below. Along with some of the other questions that I'm very, very curious about. You know me, I'm a curious man, guys. If made it to this point, again, comment on those yellow hearts so I know who made it to this point, who the real ones are, who didn't just click on the video as soon as it ended. Shout out to you guys. You guys watching all day, if you don't understand how much that supports me on this channel. So I always appreciate, I want to show my appreciation to you guys. Again, I'm making a playlist of all my Mr. Rogers reactions that you can check out at the end of this video. Make sure, don't forget to like the video before you head on out, because I know it's very easy to forget. And of course, guys, as always, I'm your boy JayFlex. This has been me checking out just the pool scene and the importance of it.
That's
and for those who haven't missed this point, you guys.
Meaty? That's it. It exactly. That is it exactly. You have a best friend that is a different ethnicity or different race than you, and you never even saw it because you were just friends. That is what it is all about. That is 100% what it's all about. You see them as a person and as a friend. And that is all that matters.
Has been absolutely wonderful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yeah.
This guy asked, do we know anyone who has shown as much care as Ember? Mr. Rogers, well, it's you, Ember. We are all here because of you, and thank you, Ember, for that.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I can be a fraction of what Fred Rogers was. Even just a fraction, and I know I'm doing something right.